I watched The Godfather recently and I wanted to hate it because I know it's such a film bro movie. And I was like, I mean, let me just watch it and see what it's all about. And I was so engulfed in the story. Like, it didn't even feel that long. Like, everything that people love about it, I was like, yes, I'm like a sucker for everything. I was trying to be anti-film bro and I'm full film. Like, my boyfriend was making fun of me because he's like, oh, you're like in it.
Steph, thank you for joining us today.
Of course.
I'm gonna give
Hi, Steph.
the viewers a little intro. Steph Osuna is joining us today, and she's actually one of my friends and also one of the greatest people to collaborate with. You are a writer, director, daughter, and very stylish filmmaker from Inglewood, California.
Okay.
You're a Capricorn through and through. And whenever people ask us how we met, I'm always just like, I think we just gravitated towards each other that one time. We were in a meeting for the Latin Tracking Board, which was like a networking event back in the day. And we would always show up and just kind of like look around and have no one to like chat with or sit next to. And so we just like sat next to each other and we became friends.
Every time we're like, Helen, where's Helen? And then I would find her. Yeah.
So cute. And that was years ago. So I'm very happy to have you on the pod. Okay, so you write coming of age stories, feel good stories. They usually have a lot of heart, and our friends and everybody who knows Steph likes to call you the Rom-Com Queen because you want to tell those stories. You're great at telling those stories, and you also just genuinely love rom-coms.
Yeah, I love them. They're my favorite.
Can you show us your tattoo?
Yes. Okay.
It's an iconic When Harry Met Sally tattoo.
Oh my God.
Is it
What?
so
It's incredible.
amazing?
You can't
Is that
say
your favorite, Steph? Is that your favorite?
yeah, that's my favorite movie of all time. Not just rom-com, just movie in general. So you can't say I'm not a fan because
You're
committed. Yeah. Card carrying.
they better not do anything that makes me not want to have them on my body. But whatever.
Yeah, they better not.
Or fingers crossed. They're already all.
Yeah, they've
they
passed
did.
us.
That's
Yeah,
That's the time, right? Yeah.
that's the time. Yeah,
We're good.
and Nico and Steph, you guys probably met, right?
I think we met in one of your events. I'm not memorable, Steph, but you are. So I remember you.
Nico, I remember
Wow.
we were it was Helen's birthday at the rooftop with your wife. That's where we first
My
met.
wife Mercedes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nice.
A beautiful afternoon.
You both have amazing shorts, by the way. Like I'm a fan of y'all, so I'm happy to be here.
Yay! Thank you for taking the
Happy
time.
to have you.
And we're gonna jump into proof of life because I know we're all tired, but we are alive, and so we gotta talk about proof of life. Steph, what have you been up to? Please tell us.
Barely living. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I just shot my short film, my latest short film this week. So I'm post that. So I think I'm feeling relaxed and just happy and accomplished I did that. But sometimes like your overthinking comes in while you're driving and you're like, oh, did I get that shot? I can't go back, but we'll figure it out. So I think that's my biggest thing that I have accomplished this week. So now I want to get back to watching things because it's been taking over my life.
I have a question. Do you watch things while in the process of making things?
Yeah, our mentor for this program was giving me movies to watch, and one of them was The Black Bag, Amazon movie. Yeah, so he just told me because I have a dinner scene with a lot of characters. He was like, "Oh, you should watch this." So I didn't watch the full movie because I didn't have time, but I did get to the point where there's like a dramatic dinner scene, and I'm like, "Got it." Like this helps me conceptualize how I'm gonna do it. So yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, very dramatic scene in that movie. The dinner scene, so much drama.
I've seen the movie. I'll catch up.
Nico, what's going on in your life?
I was just telling you, I feel like I'm hustling and everything I'm doing is projecting into the future. I'm pitching, I'm building, I'm writing, I'm doing all these things. But in my mind, I wish a project would just take me away. Like one of those things would just happen and take me away from everything else. And I can focus in one thing only for at least 6 months, right? Because right now my attention is so divided into different directions. But when you're building, that's the kind of mindset that you have. You're scattered among so many different things. Of course, you were saying, Helen, that when you are in one thing, you wish you were in other things or maybe more personal things.
Yeah, it's like the grass is always greener. When I was in a writer's room, I was like, damn, I just spent 20 weeks of my life working on somebody else's show. Haven't worked on anything for myself. And you just feel sad. But yeah, the grass is always greener.
What about you, Helen?
I just wrapped shadowing a director on this show called The Neighborhood. That was really fun. Yeah, Victor Gonzalez, he's one of the few multicam directors. He started out in doing like Wizards of Waverly Place. He's just living in that multicam world, the sweetest guy. And yeah, I just got to literally be his shadow. It was me and Constance Marie. She's an actress. She used to be in the George Lopez show. She's also directing now, so she was also shadowing him.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
What did you learn from multicam directing? Because I'm very interested in that, like what that world.
Yeah, I learned that it's a lot. It's a lot to keep track of, but they have an assistant director, which is such a helpful role that they're just tracking all of the shots that you still need to get, kind of like how the DP would or AD kind of, but there are ADs on set. There's just a lot. It's definitely like theater. I loved it because it's live and so many people are there.
You do like live punch-ups too now. Like they're like, oh, the audience didn't laugh as much. I don't know. I remember when I watched One Day at a Time live taping, I saw them like in the moment be like, let's change it for this take. Like, let's do this joke instead or whatever.
Yeah. The showrunners were there. So they'd just be chatting and giving new lines. And that's always
terrifying to me. Just the idea of like having to come up with a better joke that you didn't have like in a week. Why would you have it in a minute?
Yeah.
See to me.
Well, what's cool is that the showrunners will be like, okay, that joke's not working. So they'll tell the assistant to take it back to the room and then they'll be working on the joke. So luckily it's not just on you. You have people who are also thinking about the joke.
Just for context, you're not new to multicam because you were in a writer's room for a multicam show, right?
Yeah.
So this is an opportunity to see another side of something you've been part of.
Mm-hmm, exactly. And I really, really want to do the directing side of it all. But in multicam space, I feel super familiar with it.
Mm-hmm.
And if there were just more ways of entry, that would be awesome. But it's very, very hard to get an episode of TV.
It's very specific too, because I feel like if you do single cam, like going to multicam, they're like, well, you don't have that skill. So it's like you have to come up with that skill or practice it somehow. But if there's no space for that, then how do you even get in? You know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And there's only so much shadowing that you can do. And especially me, I'm like, I have to do it to learn. Like I have to trial by error, you know? But it was a great experience and I need to type up my notes and, you know.
I have a question.
Yeah.
How many cameras are involved?
How many multicam are in a multicam?
Steph, hear this. I have been telling everybody, and in my head I was like, yeah, I've only ever seen 3 cameras. It's not. It's 4. And I was like, Victor, has it always been a 4 cameras? And he's like, yeah, I think Desi Arnaz came up with like the system. And I was like, I'm
Saving up time, 4 cameras.
Saving up time, it's been 4. Why did I bring it down to 3? I don't know. But yeah.
Maybe it's you trying to cut corners and be more efficient and then revolutionize the industry.
I don't know, but it is cool to have 4 cameras because it's like you've got 2 that are known to be like the establishing shots, so you don't really have to worry about those all the time. And what's cool is that I actually got to like edit in real time. So I would mark up my script and be like, okay, for that line we're going to be on the A camera, for this line we'll be on the B, for this line on the X. So you just kind of like edit it as you go and you're like, you know, yeah, you're like, I have it. Let's move on.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's super cool. I wanted to talk about Steph's short film, but also could you tell us a little bit about the award that you just got?
The program? Yeah.
Yeah.
I am part of season 3 of the Mitú Walmart Mentorship Program, where they give us money and mentorship and basically publicity for being part of this program. They give us $50K,
which is crazy. That's so cool.
Yeah. Under 10 pages, 2-day shoot. It's a very intense timeline. Like they give you the timeline. But the way I'm like describing it to people feels very much like studio. Like a studio gives you a timeline and you gotta make it work. And that's kind of how it goes. So yeah, I've been having a great time and I'm happy to finally, tell this short that I have. I've had this I remember I had to go back to my old laptop to even get the final draft version of this, so I think it's been like 5 years or something since
you had the idea for it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Have you applied before to this grant?
Yes, I did. I've applied last season. I think last season was more of like a invite only. So I got invited and I sent them a bunch of scripts, but I didn't send them this one. They're like, yeah, send different scripts. And I was like, cool. It does lean more like family friendly comedies. Like that's kind of what I'm getting the sense of, especially like last year and this year. Yeah. But I had that, and mine is more of like a ensemble family comedy. It's called Spill The Frijoles, and it's about a young couple who are new parents, and they've decided that she's gonna go to work and he's gonna stay at home. But they're going to her big Mexican family's carne asada, and they're like, we don't want to tell them just yet because we already know they're not gonna react the best way. So they decide to keep it a secret. But the longer they're there, the harder it is to keep the secret, and then it all comes out. So yeah,
I love it. I love that idea. That's awesome. Congrats. That's huge.
Yeah, I had so much fun. But speaking about multicam, first day we had 2 cameras, and I didn't process it. I was like, oh, I'm directing with 2 cameras. Like that's crazy. Yeah. So
How did you like it?
obviously, like, it's harder to get 2 cameras, right? Like budget wise and everything, but we figured it out. And I was like, oh, if I can have that always, because it's just getting coverage, right? Like I had 9 people around a dinner table. I would not be able to do that with 1 camera. So yeah, it's just a lot of planning, shot listing, the overheads, and really talking closely to my DP and just being like, all right, did we get this or not? Like, did we get this? It's very much like you, Helen, where it's like, I have to edit in the moment and be like, I already know I'm gonna cut to this reaction. So yeah, we're good to move on.
That's awesome. That's great. And by the time that we publish this episode, it'll be announced. So
Yeah.
it's exciting.
And online, the movie's gonna be on in a month. So
Okay, cool. So that's perfect. We'll make sure to link to the film.
okay, cool.
Yay. Okay, cool. Wait, didn't you want to discuss screening season, Nico?
Yes, that's kind of what I've been watching moment. Like award season for me is my favorite time in LA because I get invited to all the screenings and get to see Q&As. It really feels that there's a purpose for being in LA, which sometimes can be elusive. Like, why are we in LA is a question we're always asking because it's so tough. But then award season hits and you get invited to the screenings and you get to watch the movies with the people that made them. To me, that's very inspiring and very beautiful. So, one of the movies that I watched, we're going to talk about in the next section, but I think that's what's happening.
Are you part of a union? Or are you part of the academy? Or I'm just interested in how.
Yeah, I'm part of the DGA. So we get invited. Yeah. So I'm a DGA director and I get invited because I guess through the guild and sometimes friends. Like Helen invited me to a movie the other day and I don't know how you got invited, Helen, but that was friends of friends, Nalib, right? Yeah. So we, those invitations go around for everyone. So what we've been watching, I want to start. I watched The Smashing Machine, the Benny Safdie movie with The Rock.
How was it?
Honestly, honest opinion.
100% honest opinion. So for context, it's a movie about it's like a biopic of this fighter. This is an MMA fighter called Mark Kerr, reaches the peak of his career and faces personal hardship along the way. So this guy, Mark Kerr, is a guy that is first in the MMA when the MMA is beginning. I know nothing about MMA, but right now you can tell that MMA has a lot of attention for many different reasons. People make a lot of money. And back then they were just like enthusiasts, people that came from different martial arts, and they were getting together to this new form of entertainment / sport, right? Mm-hmm. And the movie does a very good job at being very immersive. So the setup is exciting because you get immersed in the 90s in a way that I haven't been in a long time. Like you really want to live with that world. The characters are great. I think very interesting. Along the way, what the question that starts to emerge is there a story to tell on Mark Kerr's life, right? They find a story that I think sometimes is not the most interesting one of all the stories that the movie depicts, right? There's a friendship story and rivalry in the movie, Mark Kerr and another fighter who are friends, but sometimes they need to fight against each other, or at the last minute of their careers, they have to sometimes face each other. And the movie builds towards that, but it really doesn't dig in my opinion. And then there's a love story relationship movie that I think maybe what it does is not really explore the full potential or depth of that relationship, right? At the end of the day, the question is like, when you do a biopic, was there a story here to be told, or was this the best story to tell, right? If you're not an MMA enthusiast like I am, that I know nothing about that world, I question whether that was a story that is universal enough for capture people's imagination and bring them into this world. So that's my criticism. But Benny Safdie is a great director. He works with non-actors, and that feels different. That feels refreshing. I think it's a great watch.
But I feel like for me, I'm like, oh, I know that they want to win awards. Like this feels very much like an award film. So like,
I tell you, I wasn't expecting The Rock to be as good as he is, and I think he's probably gonna get nominated.
Mm-hmm.
So out of 5 stars, what are you giving it?
I hate the 5 stars things. Rather
Fine, out of
go for the
10.
10. I would give it a 6.
Okay. Well, for me, when you were explaining it, it was giving me a complete unknown. The Bob Dylan one was Timothée Chalamet. I was like,
exactly the same idea. Bob Dylan is an important figure, but was he a compelling character, or he was like a narcissist psychopath who never connected with anyone, right?
yeah. And is this moment of his life like the part that you want to tell, right? For me, I was just like, when I watch it, I'm like, meh.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know who's great in it? Emily Blunt. This is her wife, partner.
Uh-huh.
And I think she's, that story, her character is not well served in the movie, I think, I think that it's a little bit, she does the crazy girlfriend in a way that I feel may be superficial, but. Yeah.
What did you rate One Battle After Another, Steph?
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh,
that's the one movie I want to watch.
Okay, do you mind if Nico and I quickly just...
I don't care. I kind of already know.
Yeah. I just want to know. I don't want to know exactly what you think, Nico. I just want to know your rating. I don't want to spoil anything. Wait, what the hell, you guys? Lola, I'm sorry. This segment is terrible. Lola's our editor. I'm sorry. So,
well, I have been busy.
You've been busy.
It's been impossible.
Nico, you've been busy. It's okay.
No, listen, this is more than that. It's snobbery because I've been wanting to watch this in 17 millimeters, so I didn't run to a normal theater. And so now I'm stuck with not watching.
You're being a film guy now. You're being a film person.
This is what I fucking get for being a snob guy that nobody... Anyway.
Well, Steph, what have you been watching?
That was me with Sinners. I was like, I have to watch it in the Universal. Yeah.
Steph, what are you watching?
Okay, so I was when we talked about this, I was like, what did I watch before I got into all this? I watched The Godfather recently, and I wanted to hate it. Not hate it. I just didn't want to like it as much as I did because I know it's such a film bro movie. And I was like, I mean, let me just watch it and see what it's all about. And I was so engulfed in the story. Like, it didn't even feel that long. Like everything that people love about it, I was like, yes, I'm like a sucker for everything. But I was trying to be anti-film bro, and I'm full film. Like, my boyfriend was making fun of me because he's like, oh, you're like in it.
You're obsessed. That's crazy.
I gotta say, can I say something? Because I come from a different context where I discovered how that movie is the monoculture for film bros here, but it can represent other things. I think in other countries represents other things. It represents more of the cinema of the 70s.
Yeah.
Maybe older people are into it. It's a classic, but it's not this thing. I was like, to me, just to say, just to brag about The Godfather because you love cinema is so simple. Yeah.
And then I also watched Overcompensating, and they have a whole scene there where like all the best.
Yes, I love that too.
Are like, yeah, Godfather, and then
what's your favorite film? And every single film bro's like, gonna have to say Godfather.
But his crush says The Godfather Part 2, so
that makes him really cool.
Different.
It's different. I love that so much.
And I know we're gonna talk about Diane Keaton, but I think that final shot for me, I was like, this is why I love cinema. This is why I love film. Like, she
remind me, what is it? What is the final?
It's her seeing him become his father, basically, and she's seeing it through a door frame. It's beautifully framed, beautifully shot, but you can tell everything from her face. Like, you can tell that she's like, oh, shoot, this is what we're going into, right? And then it leads to the next films. But it was so beautiful. I was like, oh, my God, I see it. I see why people love it. Yeah. And I remember watching it when I was younger. My cousins were watching it, and I would be, like, falling asleep to it. So the fact that I'm, like, now a filmmaker in my 30s watching it, I'm like, this was a time to watch it and really appreciate it for what it is.
You appreciate it. Yeah. No, it was...
So for future generations looking at this, watching this podcast, like let's say 20 years in the future, we just learned Diane Keaton died. And we're all very sad about that because she was such an amazing, amazing talent and actor and was such an influence for all of us.
Let's just dive into how did they make it? It's a segment where we talk about, influential creatives. And I picked Diane Keaton, fellow Capricorn Steph.
Hardworking girl. Hardworking woman.
Hardworking girl. And my favorite film that Diane Keaton was in is problematic because of Woody Allen, but I loved her in Annie Hall. Yeah.
That's to me is her. Like that's the quintessential Diane Keaton and the quirkiness that she brings to that. Isn't she the template for so many characters in that movie? Like the manic pixie girl kind of started in Annie Hall. Now
She was OG.
became a trope.
OG.
Yeah.
OG. I'll give you guys a little bit of background information. She was born here in LA as Diane Hall. Her dad was a civil engineer and a real estate broker. Her mom was a homemaker. And she'd actually won a Mrs. Los Angeles pageant, her mother. But Diane did credit her mom's creativity in the home to kind of influenced her to be creative as well. And she grew up in Santa Ana. She performed in school plays, kind of went that trajectory, and then ended up working in theater. In 1968, she enrolled in the neighborhood Playhouse School of Theater, and she studied the Meisner technique. Do you guys know that technique?
Yes.
I don't. What is it again?
Well, I don't know what it is, but I know my friends all like.
Oh, it says it right here. It emphasizes spontaneity and emotional truth. Okay.
Yeah.
It's trying to source an emotional truth in interpretation. Yeah.
And yeah, while she was in New York and doing theater, she worked odd jobs like waiting tables, singing in nightclubs, doing the whole actor thing. And then in 1968, she was cast in the original Broadway cast of Hair. Have not seen that musical, but it's very famous. And notably, she said no to performing the nude scene, I guess there is in this film. And she was the only cast member to do so, which made her stand out and signified how strong her boundaries were even back then when she wasn't like a name, you know? Her breakthrough role is Woody Allen's Play It Again, Sam. This is 1969. And he made a romantic comedy about a film critic obsessed with Casablanca. And yeah, that was her breakthrough role. She was starring opposite Woody. And this whole friendship is so problematic. And we're not going to get into it, but I'm just like, she stood by him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So our girl had some issues, but it's fine. R.I.P. We cannot talk trash. She's dead. And then at the same time that she was doing theater and doing these Woody Allen films, she was exploring singing, and she performed in New York cabarets, would make TV appearances. I didn't know that she was a singer, to be honest. I did not know this. Yeah.
Me either.
New information. And then in 1972, she landed the role of Kay Adams in The Godfather. And even though it wasn't the largest role, just her being part of that hit definitely raised her Hollywood profile. Yeah.
I mean, she is incredible in that role. Like, she's heartbreaking in a way that it's one of the most interesting storylines, I think, in The Godfather. No?
Like, all the things that she brings to that role is
incredible. It's such a little time. She doesn't have that much screen time, but every second counts.
And yeah, in the 70s, she continued to work with Woody Allen and, you know, did more of his films. Annie Hall, like we said, was in 1977. She basically just played a version of herself. And the film won 4 Oscars, including Best Actress for Diane, making her like a cultural icon. And since then, she's been like a fashion icon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. She's like known for wearing the men's wear.
Her boots, yeah. The
Annie Hall wardrobe is iconic. It's still like so cool.
And then in 2003, she was in the iconic Something's Gotta Give, directed by Nancy Meyers. So good.
Love that movie.
I love that movie so much.
Me too. And it actually earned her another Oscar nom, and I did not know that.
What?
That like the last known movie of Jack Nicholson. Like, that's the last time Jack Nicholson was himself, right? Like, he was like a big role. I don't know if he ever did anything after that.
I don't know either. But that is Diane's career. I mean, she's done tons of other films since then, and she kept working. And I did not read into her death. Do you guys know? Was it just like natural causes or anything?
No, I don't know.
I feel like,
yeah.
Well, we were talking about it yesterday, and they're like, oh, that her health was probably declining, and it declined quickly, and yeah, she passed away.
Man, what a legacy, though.
For real.
Let's bring this up. Let's bring this up with only good news.
Now I'm sad.
I know, I'm just sad too.
Okay.
Come on, guys.
Only good news. You guys, come on. There's good news here. There's good news in that, Steph, you're an example of someone who has benefited from this huge Walmart grant, you know? I wanted us to talk about the positivity of that and like being able to be in these programs and winning these grants and these awards and how they actually do uplift filmmakers just because we got to look on the bright side once in a while, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it was like negative for a while because it's like you get rejected constantly. Like, how many years have I been applying? You know, like I did Project Involve in 2021 and I love that program. It's a good program to learn the ins and outs of like every step of the way that you need to make a movie, a short. They bring speakers and all that, but they don't provide the funding. You have to fundraise still yourself. So there's that element.
Independent, right?
Yeah, Project Involved. Yeah. It's doable. It's possible. We did it, you know, and I literally met like lifelong friends there. So like, I love it. And anyone that I talk to about it, I'm like, yes, please apply. Please do it. I had such a great experience there, but that was 2021. And then since then, it's like trying to apply to all these programs that give money to make a short film is like impossible, right? It's like rejection after rejection, you know, and that like hits your self-esteem because you're like, oh, are my movies not it? Like, am I not a good writer? Am I not a filmmaker? And in every program, you need a new sample. Like, you can't have an old sample, so then you have to make your own films, and then you have the fundraise for that. So
it's a part-time job to apply to these grants and these programs. Nico, have you ever gotten a grant or made it into a program that you think, you know, drastically helped your career?
I have to say, I am in a middle ground situation where I have a career in commercials and I did a feature. So it's very hard for me to get into grants for the right reasons. Like, these are people who are up and coming and they need it more than I do. So for a while I tried. I got very close a few times, but never quite got funding to do something. So at some point I decided to, you know, give that space to people that needs it more than me and that never had opportunities. And so I don't usually apply. Having said that, festivals, which are a little bit like the same effect, have been life-changing for me. So the fact that you can find a community and friends, and also that you can be recognized for your work and get some visibility, has been very important. So that's the closest experience I have to grants, I guess.
Which festival would you say was the first one where it helped open doors?
The very first festival was Austin Film Festival, where I premiered my feature, which is a huge writers community, and it felt really nice and was a great place to start, because it's not so overwhelming. It's very friendly. And then Sundance. I think Sundance is a cliche, but Sundance has changed the trajectory of my career, because it's something you can keep say after you've been in Sundance. It's like, you know, it's just for the odds. Honestly, nowadays, it's just the odds to get in are so slim that when you get in, like, you can tell that story, right?
Yeah.
What did you do when you got in? Like, where were you when you got that email?
Yeah.
The first time I was working, the first time I got into Sundance was with a VR film, like virtual reality film. We did with Rosario Dawson, and it was a lot of back and forth with the festival until the last minute. So we had some ideas. We had the feeling that we may get in. It's different, right? It's not just like so opaque as the films, where you don't really pretty much know anything how it's going on.
Wait, I'm confused. I'm sorry. You think you're going to get in? Why did you think you were going to get in? Don't you just get a notification?
For the VR one?
No. Well, we did at some point get a notification, but because this program doesn't exist anymore. It's called New Frontiers in Sundance. And they used to do this thing where they would take on project that would have technology and storytelling. Because the program is tighter and smaller, and because they need to anticipate who's going to come in, and there's a lot of technical things that get involved in the distribution and the way they show those projects. When you submit something and you get closer, there's a little bit more feedback from the organization, as if, for example, you send a short film that is live action. When you send a short film that is live action, you send it into a void. You don't know anything until you get that email. Here, we had some hints. My producers were in contact with the people. So we got some ideas. When I got in with Border Hopper in 24, that was the traditional, I send it, and then one day I got a phone call that I don't know who this person is, and I call back, and it's a little bit clumsy way, because they call you and I was supposed to pick up and I did. But then I got in the phone with this person and she told me that we got in.
Aww.
And it was really moving, because you know something you expect, but you don't really, I mean, you hope, but you don't necessarily expect it will happen. And when it did, it's like, I'm not very good at catharsis, so I am not.
No, not when you were like, yeah, thanks. Okay, sure.
I'm more of a like, you know, getting very tight and having like one drop, like one tear fall.
Yeah.
Than a person that can scream and I'm not very good at happiness, like exuding happiness.
I relate. I'm the same way.
I thought I was going to be like that. I thought I was going to be like, oh my God. And I wasn't either. I was just like, oh wow, okay, it finally happened. Oh, okay, like this is what I wanted. I think over the time you become more excited. But yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good. It's normal that we all are dead inside. Cool.
Because you too, Helen, with your writing, your TV writing.
No, when I got into the NBC program, I was the same way. I was like, oh, I didn't get in because the guy called and he was like, Michael called me and he was speaking with like a very monotone, like kind of about to give me bad news. And, it had that intonation, which he did on purpose.
Oh my God.
And I was like, oh my God, okay, cool. I'm in.
For dramatic effect. He was
dramatic effect. And then I think he even like, Robert, who also does the program, he's like, he jokes around. He's like, well, you can at least try to sound excited. And I'm like, no, I am excited. It just doesn't, it's not conveyed through the phone. I'm sorry. What do you do?
Yeah. It goes inside. The procession goes inside.
Yeah. But yeah, that's fun. It's fun to talk about the wins,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, savor the wins.
Yeah, I mean, I was like semi-finalist, and then they told us like, oh, we'll let you know in a week. And I'm like, that whole week, I was like, oh my God, like what is gonna happen? And then I finally got the email and I was like, okay, it's happening. Yeah.
It's fun. We love the wins. The way I always close out episodes now is I ask the guests, what
I wanted to remember that.
Okay. What does making it mean to you, Steph?
Oh my God. I was thinking about it because the title of your podcast is like, you're not gonna make it. And I know, Nico, I saw in the thing you watched him, right? And that was also a controversial movie of like people how they think, but I also just think about what it means, like what sacrifices you do and everything to make it. Right? Like, what do you got to do to make it? I think for me to make it means making films that my community is going to love. Making feature films. I'm making shorts and I'm going to continue to make them till I can't make them no more. But like, I think the feature space, Nico, so congrats on that. Like the feature space is something that like feels impossible right now for a lot of people in my level of all my peers. I mean, right? Like for me, I was thinking about you're like a mid-level director, but I feel like that's even, you get not plateau, but like I'm like, well, who's gonna someone, you already did that, so like who could give you the next thing, right? And not against you, against like I guess our industry. I'm like, you did the thing, Nico. Like yeah. So I know it's hard, but I think for me, just making it is making features that my community loves.
I love that. That's great. Thanks again for joining.
Great note to finish.
Yeah, thank you. Good luck on all of your projects. I know you're writing now and doing other stuff. Oh, I cannot wait. Steph has a web series called And They Were Roommates.
Yeah.
So I cannot wait for season 2. Online? I know you guys are working on. Yeah, it's online. So when we put the episode out, we need to remember to post season 1 so people can watch it. Okay, cool. Thank you again, Steph. Good luck on everything. Nico, best of luck, and I will see you guys soon.
Yeah.
See you next week.
Bye.